I'm with Simon Fox and Wilson Boardman from OptiYield, and they're going to tell me all about what OptiYield do and their presence at the show. So fire away, gentlemen. What's OptiYield all about?
Go on, Simon.
Thank you very much. OptiYield is about a set of integrated technologies which involve starting from a complex soil analysis system that we've developed, right through to a full recommendation program generated by software that then recommends the products that we also research and develop, so that we can enhance crop yields and crop performance across the season. Works on any crop, any soil type, and indeed any country. And at the moment we have 35 different crops in the database that we do recommendations for, and we have a range of specialist mainly foliar nutrients and biostimulants and microbial biostimulants that we have developed and researched, often through Innovate UK grants and other European grant funded research programs with
Can
UK
I add
universities.
something to that?
Yes.
Yeah. I joined and invested in OptiYield only in the last couple of years, but I've been all around the world and I've seen many soil analysis and computer programs telling farmers and growers what they should use, making recommendations for their crops. And then I came across OptiYield, and it takes the whole thing to another level. There is nothing I've seen like it that is capable of not just predicting what's in the soil, but what is actually going to be available to the crop throughout the life of that crop, and identifying at what period of during the growing season that crop is going to need a supplement, maybe of a micronutrient, very often of a macronutrient, and then to be able to take that and use the more efficient foliar nutrition that we've been developing in recent years in place of the rather hit and miss system of putting nutrients in the soil, topping up the micronutrients to create a more holistic approach to nutrition, which gives us a more robust crop, more resistant to abiotic stress, but also biotic stress as well. If you layer on top of that some biostimulants that are going to enhance crop growth, some very specific developed for OptiYield biostimulants that will enhance the crop's ability to use nutrients, to achieve early growth, to achieve healthier growth, then you end up with a system which ends up with optimized inputs at every level, hence OptiYield, and the potential to reduce certainly the level of fertilizer that we're using, and we know the amount of energy it takes to produce nitrogen fertilizers. Phosphates are a finite amount in the soil. We mind all the easy stuff. We're on the difficult stuff. It's only going to get more expensive. We got bigger and bigger problems with lockup in the soil. Foliar phosphates get over all of that with the increased efficiency level. As I said, you put the whole thing together in a system, and what we're demonstrating here are actually replicated plots. I don't think anybody's ever done replicated trials that will be carried through all the way to yield that we're going to do here. Everybody does a demo plot. So look at this lovely hand manicured plot of borage, whatever it happens to be. These are commercially grown crops comparing the conventional growing regime with the OptiYield optimized growing regime. I'll shut up now.
And I would thanks Wilson. What I would also just say is, why did we feel there was a reason to do this in the first place? Well, the underlying reason, and I'm a soil scientist of now some 40 years standing, is that it was apparent very early on that the standard soil analysis methods that are used in this country, are still used in this country and indeed overseas, just are not fit for purpose when it comes to predicting particularly the fate of phosphate in the soil and phosphate availability, and we needed a brand new system to be able to predict this much more accurately. That is what RB209 fails to do, and what we are doing with OptiYield. So we can now predict with accuracy the phosphate requirement and all the other nutrients right down to molybdenum in the soil, and thus plant availability. I would also say that you might want to check up on a long YouTube video we did on this very subject on our YouTube channel on OptiYield, so go and have a look at that. And I will also say we expect to be making a major announcement about OptiYield and the software system at Cereals this year.
Anything else?
I think that's all.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Please come and see us at our site.
Thank you.
Cheers.